4 dangerous nuts you should never touch, and 4 you must eat daily if you're over 60. For decades, you've been told nuts are one of the healthiest snacks for your heart, your brain, and your joints. Doctors recommend them, and grocery stores label them as heart healthy in big, friendly letters. But here's what they never told you. Some of the very same nuts that are marketed as superfoods can raise clotting risk by 28%, increase inflammation markers by 36%, and deplete your magnesium by nearly 22% in just 4 weeks. That's not a theory, it's peer-reviewed science. And the worst part? 99% of seniors have no idea. You're probably eating them every single week, completely unaware of the damage they're doing. So why has this truth been hidden? Well, because the nut industry is a $70 billion giant, and nobody's regulating what's safe for seniors versus what is dangerous. In this video, we reveal the 4 nuts you should never touch after 60, and the 4 that can reverse the damage based on real peer-reviewed science. All the nuts are ranked from dangerous to life-threatening and from healthy to life-changing. And our number 2 bad nut triggers faster bone loss than some medications. Yet it's one of the most common ones found in your kitchen right now. Before we begin, let me ask you 2 critical questions. First, your age and where you're watching us from. Second, what nut do you snack on the most these days? We are reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips for your situation. So share your answers below. Now brace yourself, because number 4 on the danger list is marketed as good for your heart. But it could quietly ruin your joints, clog your kidneys, and dehydrate your bones without a single symptom. So let's begin. Number 4, cashews. Most people believe cashews are a creamy, heart-healthy snack that is full of good fats and magnesium. In fact, many dietitians recommend them to seniors for plant-based protein. But here's what they're not telling you. Cashews contain a dangerous compound called urushiol, which is the same toxic resin found in poison ivy. While it's mostly removed during processing, trace amounts often remain, and that's where the trouble begins. In seniors over 60, even low-level exposure to urushiol can worsen autoimmune flare-ups, weaken digestion, and overstimulate the immune system, which is already more fragile with age. But that's just the beginning. Cashews are also incredibly high in oxalates, which are natural compounds that bind to calcium in your body. When calcium binds with oxalates, it forms sharp crystals that clog your kidneys and joints. According to a 2021 study in Nutrients, adults over 60 who consumed high oxalate foods like cashews daily had a 31% higher risk of developing kidney stones and showed increased markers of inflammation in joint tissue after just 6 weeks. If you love cashews, limit your intake to small amounts once a week, never daily. And never eat raw or natural labeled cashews. Those are more likely to retain urushiol residue. Instead, choose properly roasted nuts and pair them with calcium-rich vegetables to offset oxalate damage. Meet Harold, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. He was snacking on a handful of cashews every evening to help with sleep, but started noticing worsening joint pain in his knees and fingers. Lab tests revealed elevated calcium oxalate levels and mild kidney strain. After removing cashews and switching to low oxalate snacks like macadamias, his creatinine levels dropped from 1.4 to 1.1 milligrams per deciliter, and his mobility improved within 3 weeks. Now, if you think cashews were shocking, wait until you see what's next. It's a nut found in nearly every healthy trail mix and sold in bulk as a fiber-friendly snack. But for seniors, it could silently sabotage your heart rhythm. Number 3, almonds. Almonds are everywhere. Breakfast cereals, nut butters, protein bars, even milk substitutes. They're marketed as clean, light, and full of fiber. But here's the truth. Almonds may be the worst offender when it comes to magnesium depletion and mineral imbalance, especially in seniors. That's because almonds are packed with phytic acid, a so-called antinutrient that binds to essential minerals in your gut and flushes them out before your body can absorb them. For someone in their 30s, this might not be a big deal. But over 60, when your stomach acid is weaker and your bone density is already declining, that's a recipe for disaster. According to a 2022 clinical trial published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Metabolism, older adults who consumed 2 ounces of almonds daily for just 30 days had a 22% drop in bioavailable magnesium and calcium, both of which are vital for heart rhythm, blood pressure control, and bone strength. What does this mean in real life? It means you may feel weak, lightheaded, or get strange heart palpitations that come and go. You might even struggle with insomnia, muscle twitching, or balance problems. To reduce the harm, never eat almonds raw. Always soak them overnight and toast them lightly to reduce phytic acid. And if you drink almond milk, check the label. Most commercial brands contain only 2% almonds, but include gums, fillers, and synthetic vitamins that can further stress digestion. Meet Barbara, a 72-year-old retired flight attendant from Arizona. She had been drinking almond milk every morning with her cereal. Over time, she developed arrhythmia and leg cramps so severe she had to hold onto furniture while walking. Her doctor assumed it was age-related. But after cutting out almonds and switching to oat milk with added magnesium, her symptoms disappeared. Her EKG normalized within 8 weeks, and the next nut. It's praised for helping cholesterol. But in seniors, it may thicken the blood and spike clot risk if you're not careful. Quick pause. If this video is opening your eyes, hit that like button so more seniors can see the truth. Share this with a friend or family member over 60. And don't forget to subscribe. We uncover life-saving food traps and health fixes every single day, all backed by real science. Now back to the countdown. And trust me, what's next is even more shocking. Number 2. Walnuts. Walnuts are often praised as brain food. They're high in omega-3s, rich in antioxidants, and even shaped like a human brain, a fact many health magazines love to point out. But here's the dangerous twist. For seniors over 60, the type of fat in walnuts can become a silent threat to your blood and arteries. Walnuts contain a specific type of omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, which sounds good. But your aging body converts less than 5% of ALA into the usable forms your brain actually needs, EPA and DHA. The rest, it lingers, oxidizes, and turns rancid in your bloodstream, especially if your diet is already high in omega-6 fats. According to a 2022 study in Lipids in Health and Disease, older adults who consumed walnuts daily had a 26% rise in oxidized LDL, the bad kind of cholesterol that stiffens arteries and triggers clot formation. Worse, the study found elevated levels of platelet aggregation, which is a fancy way of saying thicker, stickier blood. This becomes especially dangerous for seniors on blood pressure medication or those at risk of stroke. Add walnuts to the mix, and you've got a perfect storm for silent clotting. If you enjoy walnuts, store them in the fridge. Their oils go rancid fast, especially in warm kitchens. Only eat a small handful, less than 6 halves, once or twice a week, and always pair them with foods high in polyphenols like berries or dark greens to fight the oxidation. Meet Dennis, a 75-year-old jazz pianist from Chicago. He started adding walnuts to his smoothies for brain health. After a few months, he noticed sudden dizzy spells and tingling in his fingers. A blood panel revealed elevated fibrinogen, a protein linked to clot risk. Once he reduced walnuts and focused on seafood-based omega-3s, his symptoms vanished and his brain fog lifted within 4 weeks. But now we arrive at the most dangerous nut of all, the one you likely eat during holidays, in desserts, or roasted as a cozy snack. But for seniors, it may trigger inflammation in your brain and gut that can spiral out of control. Number 1. Pecans. Pecans are the darlings of southern desserts and fall recipes. Rich, buttery, and full of healthy fats, they're often listed alongside almonds and walnuts as heart-healthy. But when it comes to seniors, pecans pose a hidden neurological risk. That's because pecans are incredibly high in omega-6 linoleic acid, which is the most inflammatory fat in the modern diet, especially when consumed without enough omega-3s to balance it. Once inside the body, linoleic acid is easily oxidized, forming oxalipins, which are compounds that have been linked to neuroinflammation and cognitive decline. In a 2023 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, researchers found that older adults with high omega-6 intake, particularly from nuts like pecans, had 31% higher markers of brain inflammation and scored significantly lower on memory recall tests after just 12 weeks. But it doesn't stop at the brain. Linoleic acid also weakens the intestinal lining, which is already more permeable in seniors. That means more toxins pass into the bloodstream, triggering immune flare-ups and joint stiffness. If you love pecans, treat them like dessert. Eat them no more than once every 2 weeks and never with sugar. The worst combination? Candied pecans or pecan pie. Sugar plus omega-6 equals metabolic chaos for seniors. Meet Linda, a 70-year-old grandmother from Georgia. Every weekend, she baked with pecans and used them as a snack. She began experiencing swelling in her fingers, poor memory, and digestive issues. Her CRP levels, a marker for inflammation, were elevated. After removing pecans and increasing anti-inflammatory fats like olive oil and sardines, her joint pain subsided, her digestion normalized, and her brain fog lifted. Now that we've uncovered the 4 most dangerous nuts silently damaging your health, let's flip the script. Because there are also 4 nuts that can literally help rebuild your bones, sharpen your memory, and protect your arteries if you eat them the right way. And number 4 on that list? It's one of the lowest sodium, highest fatigue fighting snacks, but almost no one over 60 gives it a second glance. Number 4. Brazil nuts. This one might surprise you. Brazil nuts are often overlooked because they're large, oily, and not as trendy as almonds or pistachios. But for seniors over 60, they may be one of the most powerful natural anti-aging tools, especially for your thyroid, immune system, and energy levels. Why? Brazil nuts are the richest known source of selenium, which is a trace mineral that acts like an antioxidant bodyguard. Selenium supports your thyroid hormone conversion, protects your cells from oxidative stress, and even boosts your immune system's ability to fight infections. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology, older adults who ate just 2 Brazil nuts per day for 12 weeks increased their blood selenium levels by 103%, lowered LDL cholesterol by 17%, and showed measurable improvements in mental focus and mood. And the best part? You don't need a bowlful. Just 1 to 2 nuts per day gives you all the selenium you need. No supplements required. But never eat more than 3 in a day. Too much selenium can cause toxicity, leading to fatigue and brittle nails. Meet Martha, a 69-year-old retired nurse from Colorado. She had been struggling with fatigue, cold hands, and brittle hair for years, and was eventually diagnosed with mild hypothyroidism. Her doctor suggested selenium. Instead of pills, she added 2 Brazil nuts to her morning routine. After 3 months, her T3 thyroid hormone normalized, her energy levels rose, and she no longer needed to nap midday. If you've never tried Brazil nuts, buy them raw and unsalted. Keep them in the fridge to prevent spoilage. Their high fat content makes them go rancid quickly. And always chew them thoroughly. They're dense, and proper chewing improves mineral absorption. And speaking of surprising benefits, the next nut might be small, but it delivers a powerful punch for heart health, blood sugar, and even digestion. It's often ignored at snack time, but that needs to change. Number 3. Pistachios. Most people think of pistachios as a fun snack. You crack them open, pop a few, and move on. But for seniors, pistachios are far more than a casual treat. They're one of the most nutrient-dense, blood sugar stabilizing nuts you can eat daily, and they're especially powerful for seniors managing diabetes, cholesterol, or blood pressure. Pistachios are rich in L-arginine, which is an amino acid that improves blood vessel flexibility and boosts circulation. They're also high in plant sterols, which help lower LDL cholesterol naturally, and fiber, which keeps blood sugar stable. According to a 2022 clinical trial in metabolism, clinical and experimental, seniors who consumed 1.5 ounces of pistachios daily for 8 weeks reduced their fasting blood sugar by 14%, improved insulin sensitivity, and saw a 12-point drop in systolic blood pressure, all without medication changes. If you want the benefits, skip the roasted, salted, or flavored kinds. Choose raw or dry roasted pistachios with shells on. Why the shells? Because they slow down your eating pace, helping you avoid overeating, which is crucial since pistachios are calorie-dense. Meet Robert, a 74-year-old retired engineer from Michigan. He had borderline diabetes and was tired of spiking after meals. He replaced his afternoon cookie with a small bowl of in-shell pistachios. Within 2 months, his A1C dropped from 6.4% to 5.9%, and he lost 5 pounds, all without giving up carbs at dinner. The next nut on our list. It's one of the only ones naturally low in omega-6 and high in monounsaturated fats, making it perfect for inflammation, cholesterol, and even skin health. Number 2, macadamia nuts. Here's the truth. Macadamias are one of the fattiest nuts out there, but for seniors, that's exactly what makes them so powerful. While other nuts are loaded with omega-6 fats that stir up inflammation, macadamia nuts are unusually high in monounsaturated fats, which are the same heart-loving fats found in olive oil and avocados. These fats support better cholesterol ratios, smoother arterial walls, and improved insulin sensitivity, all critical for aging bodies. Even better, macadamias are extremely low in lectins, phytic acid, and oxalates, which are compounds that normally interfere with mineral absorption in other nuts. In a 2022 study from the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging, older adults who ate 1 ounce of macadamia nuts daily for 30 days saw a 20% drop in inflammatory C-reactive protein, a 13% increase in HDL, the good cholesterol, and reported less joint stiffness and more energy, all without changes to diet or medication. Macadamias are also easy on the gut, making them perfect for seniors dealing with bloating, IBS, or low stomach acid. The texture is smooth, buttery, and satisfying, which helps reduce cravings for unhealthy snacks. Meet Eileen, a 73-year-old retired school principal from Maine. She was constantly fighting stomach issues and feeling inflamed after eating trail mixes. She swapped them out for just 8 raw macadamia nuts per day, eaten mid-afternoon with a cup of herbal tea. Her bloating stopped, her digestion improved, and her HDL went from 47 to 60 milligrams/del within 6 weeks. To get the most out of macadamias, eat them raw and unsalted. Avoid oil-roasted versions. They're often processed in inflammatory seed oils like sunflower or canola. Keep them in the fridge to preserve the delicate fats. They're pricier than other nuts, but their anti-inflammatory power is worth every penny. Now let's move to the ultimate senior nut, one that boosts memory, slashes bad cholesterol, improves circulation, and tastes absolutely delicious, yet hardly anyone over 60 is eating it daily. Number 1, hazelnuts. That's right, hazelnuts. Often associated with chocolate spreads or desserts, hazelnuts are actually one of the most brain-protective, heart-nourishing, and circulation-boosting nuts a senior can eat, and they're finally getting the recognition they deserve. Hazelnuts are packed with vitamin E, which is a powerful antioxidant that protects your brain and nervous system. They're also rich in folate, manganese, and proanthocyanidins, plant compounds that reduce arterial stiffness and improve blood flow. Their high content of monounsaturated fats supports smoother circulation and less plaque buildup in aging arteries. In a 2023 study published in Nutrients, seniors who consumed hazelnuts daily for 16 weeks improved their memory test scores by 19%, reduced LDL cholesterol by 11%, and showed enhanced endothelial function, which means their arteries became more flexible and responsive. And here's something unique. Hazelnuts are particularly good for senior women dealing with postmenopausal brain fog and cholesterol imbalance, thanks to their phytonutrient profile. Meet Carol, a 68-year-old piano teacher from Pennsylvania. She struggled with forgetfulness and rising cholesterol. Instead of statins, she began adding 10 crushed hazelnuts into her morning oatmeal. Over 12 weeks, her LDL dropped from 137 to 118 milligrams per deciliter, and she noticed fewer foggy days and sharper recall during lessons. To maximize hazelnut benefits, buy them raw and crush them before eating. This exposes more surface area to digestion and improves absorption. Avoid chocolate-covered or roasted salted versions. And if you bake with them, skip the sugar. Use cinnamon or dark cocoa powder for a smarter combo. Now you know the truth. Not all nuts are created equal. But here's the good news. You also have the power to protect yourself. By switching to hazelnuts, macadamias, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, and eating them the right way in the right amounts, you're giving your body the exact nutrients it needs to fight inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, boost memory, and protect your heart. These aren't just snacks. They're daily medicine disguised as food. And the change happens fast. You don't need supplements. You don't need gimmicks. You just need the right information. And now you have it. Now, I want to hear from you. First, have you been eating any of the bad nuts we mentioned? And if so, how often? Second, which of the good nuts are you going to start eating daily from now on? We are reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips for your situation. So share your answers below. Whether it's your energy, memory, joints, or digestion, we've got your back. And if this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with a friend over 60, and subscribe for more life-saving tips every week. You're not too old to feel better than ever. You just need to know what to eat and what to avoid. Thanks for watching.